Kim Dotcom is the founder of Megaupload. Megaupload was a very popular, innovative file sharing service, aka cloud storage, company that was started in 2005 and recently shut down in January by the federal government in the United States. It was operating out of Hong Kong, and the owner, Kim Dotcom, lived in New Zealand. The federal government of the United States coordinated with the New Zealand government to do a criminal-style paramilitary raid on Kim Dotcom's personal home as part of the shutdown of his corporation. Typically, when a corporation is charged with some kind of a criminal complaint, there's ways that that's handled and gone about. The people obviously have access to their funds in order to provide a defense, which has not happened in this case. This gentleman has been basically used as a political piece to make a point, and it was done in one of the most absurdly brutal, ridiculous ways possible, and it's totally backfiring right in the government's face. In New Zealand, usually the cops don't even carry guns. They consider themselves to be somewhat of a more of a civilized country, and they have their way of doing things. And this raid was basically conducted as a SEAL Team 6 style raid on his personal home, which was totally out of place for New Zealand, and the people immediately raised their concern on that. It's a pretty big story over there in New Zealand. There's some issues with campaign contributions being made by Mr. Dotcom to John Keys, the Prime Minister down there, where he is claiming that he has never met Kim Dotcom in his entire life and never heard of his name until one day after the raid happened, which is obviously has to be a total lie. Mr. Dotcom lives in the most expensive house in New Zealand. He recently put on a fireworks show for this big city over there. Huge fireworks show, the biggest one their nation's ever had. So to say that the Prime Minister doesn't know, I mean, it's just a complete, total lie on its face, a bold lie. Mr. Dotcom's claiming that he has proof that he did know the Prime Minister before that, and that he is lying.
Kim Dotcom came to New Zealand. The truth of it is that the Americans believe that he has broken the copyright laws.
To react pretty quickly to them.
They invoked the extradition treaty in New Zealand. For all of TV3's conspiracies, they'll be proved to be wrong. The bottom line is that what happened with Kim Dotcom was that he came to New Zealand. When he was in New Zealand, the belief of the American authorities is that he's broken copyright laws. And again, the simple point here is they invoke their extradition treaty. Now, if Kim Dotcom's done absolutely nothing wrong, if that's the proposition, that may well be right. I don't even have a view on that.
Will we apologise to him?
Well, there's a really simple way of resolving it. Kim Dotcom gets on a plane, he goes to America, he fights his case, he wins it, he restarts his business in New Zealand, and he says to the Americans, you were wrong.
And will we say
Pretty
sorry?
simple way of doing it.
Will we say sorry?
If he wins his case and he comes back, I won't say sorry for the Americans invoking the extradition treaty. That's, if we want to pull out of that treaty, we can, but when that little girl Pumpkin was abandoned at Melbourne Airport, her father went to America and we invoked the extradition treaty and got him out.
Pretty different situation, though.
No, it's not.
It is really.
No, it's not.
We rolled in there with...
different. No, it's different in the slightest.
Okay.
No, you see, this is where the theory is wrong from TV3. The theory is that somehow out there, we're out there to get Kim Dotcom. We don't have a view.
We jumped very quickly
No,
with
we
that.
didn't. We invoked the extradition treaty.
It's a pretty heavy-handed technique.
No, we didn't. We did what we think is safe.
It wasn't very Kiwi. It was very American, the way we rolled in there.
So you think a property that they went into, where we now know that there were firearms, you think that the police officer just walk in, if that police officer gets shot dead, hold on, that police officer gets shot dead, are you telling me, Rachel, that's all okay? Because
I don't have an opinion on it.
Okay, I don't think it is okay, and I think the police absolutely did their job properly.
We'll let the court sort it out.
Well, that's what we're dealing with. See, in my world, I don't get the luxury of that. In my world, I set rules that I expect the police to follow through the legislation that we have. They're independent, they make their own decisions, but I back them when they say that the potential risk to their officers is a risk they have to take, and I think they should have taken those risks seriously.
The internet millionaire Kim Dotcom's accused the Prime Minister of lying and says he can prove it. John Key has repeatedly denied knowing about Dotcom ahead of the January raid on his Coatesville mansion. Dotcom made the claim on TV1's Q&A program today. Joanna Hunkin has the details.
Two simple questions with two very clear answers.
Do you believe John Key has lied?
Yes.
Do you have evidence of this?
Yes.
John Key's repeatedly said he'd never heard of Kim Dotcom before the January raid on the Dotcom mansion, when the Solicitor General told the Prime Minister his name. But the Megaupload founder says that's not true.
He is running around naked and telling people he has clothes on. Everyone can see he's naked. See, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I know for a fact that John Key knew before January 19.
And he'll reveal the full details of what he knows at his extradition hearing in March.
For him not to be upfront and honest about it, to me, there's really only one reason, and that's the political interference element that could stop the whole extradition procedure.
It's a procedure he's been keen to avoid, writing to the US Department of Justice and offering to return to America if he can keep the same bail conditions he has here in New Zealand. But Dotcom says the department's declined his offer, and now he's determined to fight extradition.
If we can show that the government here has had an active role in the magnitude of this whole case and had a proactive role rather than a reactive role to impress the United States government, well, you know, there you have it. I mean, it's a monster issue.
An issue that seems destined to plague the Prime Minister until the case is heard. Joanna Hunkin, One News.